The story to me rivals that of something like Parasite. That's how I would describe it. How are you? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. We're still here. We haven't lost any subscribers.
I love how that's how we're gonna open up. Yeah, thank goodness we haven't lost subscribers.
We didn't gain
Appreciate you
any.
all. We didn't gain any. And I'm pretty sure that and of course, if anybody knows, we're obviously talking about last week's episode with Piku. The title, I'm sure, just completely
turned people off.
People come away. It hasn't even broken 1K. But so if you haven't seen the episode, I still urge you to do so. Sorry about the title, but it's still a great discussion. I don't mind that you hate me or if you think I'm an asshole after that, but please just watch it because it's still a great discussion. I don't mind it. I'm here. Discussion. We're all here to just talk. I don't mind being a target of it as long as we get to talk about movies. I appreciate every comment that was there, even if you hate my guts. So let's keep going with it.
I love the comments too. I thought they were great. A lot of the comments, a couple of them were I disagree with Ed, but I respect his opinion. Like, that's great. I love that. Thank you guys.
A lot of it was that, and again, dude, I'm so grateful. Like, thank you guys for not canceling me just because of a movie opinion. You know what I mean? Like, we know what we're here for, and if you take it too to heart, that's fine. I wish you didn't. I wish you just stayed, and because we can. I'm gonna like some movies that you like too. I hope so.
Well,
anyway.
That's a great segue because maybe you liked today's movie. Maybe you didn't like today's movie.
Maybe it's another Piku. I don't know.
No. Or My Name is Khan. There's been two movies that Ed hasn't liked. So today we're talking about Drishyam, the Hindi version of Drishyam. I want to say really quick, I know a lot of people in the comment section of the poll were saying, watch the original Malayalam version. So there is good news, bad news. Start with the bad news first. That version wasn't as widely and easily accessible to us as the Hindi version. The Hindi version's on Netflix.
Oh, question then. Is this the one that people were talking about originally? The right language that they wanted, the right version that they wanted us to watch, or?
Well, I think the votes were split down the middle. Like, some people wanted us to watch the Hindi version, some people wanted to watch the original Malayalam version. The original version, the first Drishyam.
Wow. Okay.
So I want to say to the audience, it wasn't widely available to us, but at the time of recording this episode,
no way.
Now it is available to us, it will be available to us on Hulu.
Cool.
I think it debuts next week on Hulu.
What timing?
Yeah,
crazy.
So really funny timing. So if you guys will put a timestamp here, if you guys want us to watch that version and then compare it to this Drishyam, I think that's something we could be up to doing if there's enough. Yeah, if there's enough, votes for it, and I'd be down to see the difference in cinematography of the two and production value of the two, and so on and so forth. But yes, today we're talking about not the original, the Hindi version of Drishyam. This movie's been remade like 20 times, by the way.
I saw that
crazy.
a while. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. But anyway, this Drishyam is it's from 2015, came out on July 31st, 2015, actually. And I would call it a crime thriller film that sees a man, Vijay, protect his family and go through insane loops using movies and TV he's watched as basically a guide, and how he essentially protects his family from a very unfortunate event.
Yeah, and outsmarts the cops.
And yes, outsmarts the cops. So yes, it's from 2015. It was directed by I can't say the name. Here we go.
Nishikant.
I think that's it. I think Nishikant Kamant. Written by Jethu Joseph, who I don't know if we've seen any of his other movies, but that's who it's written by. So he's got a lot of movies after Drishyam that he wrote.
Well, technically, it's actually story by Jethu, but then it was like, I guess, adapted by.
Right. I guess, yeah. Story by
me.
You're right. Interesting. Anyway, J2. I like how you call him J2. Like you know him. Is that what he's called on his Wikipedia?
I don't know.
But anyway, yes, that's the overall gist of it. And yeah, Ed, what did you think of Drishyam?
Okay, so I was thinking about how to describe this movie and how I felt about it, and this is the best I could think of when I first had to think about it. So I think Drishyam is like bottom shelf liquor. You know, it's cheap, it's cheaply made, it's diluted, and it's just good enough to swallow, but it has the essence of like your best liquor. Like and in this case, it's a thriller. And so overall, at the end of it, I enjoyed myself most of the time in the movie. But it's to call it like a good movie is a little bit of an overstretch, because on the filmmaking level, I thought it was a little over melodramatic at times. The music was not amazing.
The melodramatic at times, yes.
Yeah, it was, so it's overall, I enjoyed it. I'll say I'm down to watch Drishyam 2. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Here's what I like the most about it. The essence I think they got was that the premise of the movie is really, really good. And I think they served it enough. But I will say too, under the hands of like another director or one that maybe just took it full on as a crime thriller, I think would have done better service to the script overall, and made like an actual amazing movie was underneath this whole thing. But overall, I think again the melodrama and the direction that the movie takes makes it just kind of good enough for the most part. But I would say I liked it very much. Yeah.
Yeah, I would completely agree. In fact, I think I liked it a bit more than you. I think I can look past the melodramatic parts, but there were moments where I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. At some point, you have to, though, right? Like, once you understand, oh, it's a melodrama, I let go. I'm like, okay,
you let go, right? Exactly.
It is what it is. It's that part where you go, like, man, the script is so good, though. If it wasn't melodramatic, it would have been even better. So that's all that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I liked the movie from the moment Vijay says to his employee, can't remember his name, so sorry, where he talks about the great action scene, and they're watching Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit with Chris Pine in it, and he goes, great action scene, what are you talking about? There's too many edits, you can't see. And I had this massive chuckle, one, because Ed hated the editing in Piku, if you don't remember, and I was just laughing because I was like, that's something Ed and I would complain about. The editing is too choppy, it's too much. So
it's self-aware.
Yeah, I kind of like jumped into it then, and then I think the performances are really, really good in the film. I would agree. I don't think there's anything over the top beautifully cinematography wise or anything like that. There's nothing that is insanely over the top. But the story to me rivals that of something like Parasite. That's how I would describe it.
Whoa.
The story
really?
itself, I think so, yes, because
damn, bro.
That's
you
what I mean,
the
like
jugular.
What for nice. The strongest part of the movie is the story. You know, like,
I agree with that.
That's so clever to have. You have these people who are middle class people who get caught in this unfortunate event. This guy, this absolute asshole, Sam, records his daughter, who turns out you find out later that's not even his actual daughter. He adopted her because someone left her on the street or in the dumpster. I can't remember. Just terrible. But he does everything in his power to protect his family, and he is always one step ahead of the cops. And even when you think he's about to get caught, he's still 2 or 3 steps ahead in a very, very great kind of conniving great action and like crime thriller way. And I thought that all that stuff works really, really well. And that, to me, that story, that underlying story of going how far you'll go to protect the family, that to me rivals the story of Parasite. I'm not saying it's better than Parasite. I'm just saying that it's like I got the same kind of feeling watching that. Yeah,
you got the same feeling. Yeah.
Like there's a lot there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in this movie. Like when you strip away the melodramaticness of it, this movie could be a bonkers movie.
Absolutely.
Of the stuff they do. So
100%.
I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than you do, but again, I am also excited to see Drishyam 2 and where that goes, and I would agree. I don't know if the director, if a different director would have done something more epic with it. Like maybe the director on Dudon or
yeah,
or Tumbad.
Yeah, Tumbad.
So those would be, you know.
It's also, I mean, it's a great point. Also because that, you know, here at the end of it all, this had a vision and they went for it. Again, I'm not going to knock it for the fact that it's a melodrama necessarily. That's what it was, and that's what they went for, and that's fine. Again, but if you want to talk about it really taking the screenplay to a next level of just like pure like complete awesomeness, I think you're right. Director would have been maybe better suited for that, or a Tamba just really taking it to the full-on thriller, I think would have been great. Because there are moments, again, where there's some like funny really moments and lighthearted moments that I don't know really work in the grand scheme of it all. So there's like some tonality issues where I'm like, fine. I get you're serving a certain audience. That's fine, you know, whatever. But anyways, I think we're saying this overall.
Yeah, if you strip the melodramaticness out of it, then you have one of the best Indian films ever made, and I think it's still considered a very, very popular film. So
the screenplay is phenomenal. It's the best part of the movie.
The screenplay is phenomenal, which
it's the thing that kept me going with it. I'm like, okay, I want to see where this goes.
Makes me interested to watch the original version of this, because like, is the original version as melodramatic as this, or is it a little different? Is it a little more thriller seriousness, or is this melodrama the thriller of India? I mean, maybe that's just how their genre of thriller is.
I think it'll be a fascinating dichotomy to take a look at. Even just this, you know, they're both Indian movies, yet the differences between the languages, right, and or where they're produced. I think we've never really delved into that. And this would be a good time to actually really see that and see if there's like, you know, what the differences are and what the similarities are. I think that's really cool. So but only if you guys want to, but let us know. We'd be down for sure, because now we both like this movie a lot. So now that we're both into this movie, and like maybe we'll see it and we'll agree with a lot of the audience saying that it's that version's too bloated. Sure. Which I can't imagine a 2-hour 40-minute movie being more bloated. But anyway, let's talk about. Before we go to things I want to go first to things we didn't like about the film before we go to things we didn't like or we did like. So what's some of the pain points you had with the film, if you will? Okay, so one of them already I said was like it's for me. It's a pain point. It's not a con necessarily, but like when you see the first half of the film has to deal a lot with setup, and I would say the first half of the film is very bloated. It's just there's a lot of scenes I feel like that really don't need to happen, because once you get to the second half of the film, which is essentially that they fight, like it's the cops versus Vijay's family. That's where it's like this is the movie right here. A lot of that melodrama in the beginning, I think, is just like when you see the second half, you're like, okay, like we could have really gone past a lot of that, and it's like this would have made for a better, more streamlined movie if they just kind of dealt without that. So that's one pain point. But some of the problems I had with the movie overall had to do actually with the villains. So Gaintonde, which is sort of like the first villain that you meet up. He's the sort of big
the jerky cop.
He's a sub. They call him the sub
inspector, I think.
Right? Yeah, you're first introduced. Then you get introduced later to the Inspector General Tabu. I liked both characters, and yet I felt like you really didn't need both, though. And again, when I talk about how this was sort of bloated and diluted,
I see what you're saying. It just felt
so like they were the same character, and they're both really good, but there was not much sort of discrepancy between them as people, besides the fact that Tabu is the mother of the victim, right? But I just make it one character, and I think it would have made for, again, a more streamlined story, one that just kind of made more sense. Because I actually found Gaintonde fairly smart. You see him in the beginning, you see that he actually does some inspector work. He's not just an asshole. He's not just this like corrupt guy, not stupid. I think he's easily could be made as like someone stupid because he's like fat and
Yeah, he could be a joke, but he's not.
He could be a joke, but he's actually really smart. But it just felt like throughout the whole explanation of what Vijay's family had to do, it felt so, again, bloated. It's just like, okay, we get it. And then it leads to that scene where Tabu, it's like a 20-minute scene or so, like 15 minutes, something like 10 minutes maybe. But it's just so long where she has to like kind of re-explain, oh, this is what Vijay did. I'm smart. Like, I understood what he was actually doing.
Yes,
it just felt like we didn't need that.
I dislike that as well. Like, we get that she knows it. You don't have to tell us that she knows it.
Yeah, it was just too much.
And
it's those little things where I'm like, man, there's a good story here. Why did you have to like go through this again? It's just to make her seem like she's the main villain. She's the one. When it could have just been one or the other, because they're both pretty nasty. And so whatever. Yeah, anyways, that was like my big problem with that whole thing with the movie, because it bloated the movie so much. I mean, it's a 2 hours and 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
This could have easily been a 2-hour movie.
Yeah,
easily, not even close.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that was really my big one. What I would say.
I would completely agree with you. I actually, I was gonna almost say the exact same thing. It felt like we had twin characters at moments. Essentially, that gratitude, whatever. Yeah, that's not his name.
I'm sorry, you just became a stripper.
I'm gonna say the sub inspector and the inspector general, because that's how I can.
Okay, let's do that. That's fine.
I can pronounce. You're much better at pronunciations.
Anyway. I got you.
So sub inspector, I when Vijay is going around hiding everything, I really enjoyed that whole bit when he's trying to get through it, and then like it just felt like, again, like you said, there's two characters doing the same thing, and
a lot of overstepping and just retreading.
The Inspector General, we understand that she's already good at her job and that she will go to any length to get the person, whether they're guilty or not. So you establish that in a very short and concise scene where she's torturing two men.
Right.
Like, so you don't really need that, in both characters to be assholes.
Right.
But I guess, you need somebody. The only defense I can give is you need somebody to pin the murders on.
The murders. Yeah, correct.
And
that's where I saw it. I'm like, okay, fine. I get it. And luckily, they're both good. They're both good characters, though.
And they're both good actors.
That's the good thing. If one of them sucked, I'd been like, what the hell? But at least they're both good characters. They're both great actors. And so that's fine. I get it. Just screenplay-wise, I think I could have just really got rid of one of them. Made just all one person. It's the mom, and he or she's also a hard ass or whatever. And so, whatever,
so for me, the film was a little bloated, but I think I'm starting to understand these Indian movies a little bit more and more, and be more okay with the 2 hour and 40 runtimes. And I think it's like I would have just cut out a little bit of the character development we've got of Vijay.
I agree with you.
Most of a good chunk of character development that we actually get about Vijay is from the perspective of other people. Yeah.
Correct.
So you can, do we need to be following him for 10, 15, 20 minutes a day? Like, I get the scene where he stands up to sub-inspector, dickhead. Because, that shows that, hey, these two guys hate each other.
Right.
That scene makes sense.
Right.
But the rest of the everyday, where he's watching porn and stuff, I was like, it was funny, but I was like, okay, let's
we get it.
Let's get to it. Yeah, where's it go crazy here?
And it's a good point. Like a lot of Indian films we've seen already that are long, they do that. They just, again, it's bloated a little bit. We get it. We understand already what you were trying to get at. You had already done it. And so it always makes me wonder, though, is it for the sake of bloat? Is it for the sake of let's just get people's butts in the seats and make them feel like they're, watching a really epic movie versus poor screenplay writing? I actually think it is just it's artificial bloat. I don't actually believe it's bad screenplay writing, because there's some great moments here. I'm like, you clearly know how to write a movie. And you know how to make things concise. And so I do attribute it to that. It's more like a business implementation versus a screenplay. So I also have learned to just be like, okay,
almost.
okay,
it's almost as our 3-act structure but this is their
Correct.
structure is it's 2 hours and 30 minutes at the minimum.
Yes.
Anything
correct.
lower than this is an indie movie, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think so. I think you're right. I think you're right. Correct.
So, but
great point.
That's other than like the scenes of him kind of going through his daily life, which is where I would actually take it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I am, I thought everything else was really kind of well executed. So let's talk about some scenes we liked and what we liked about the film.
Sure. Again, overall, the premise of the movie is so strong. It's almost impossible not to just lock your eyes and attention to what's happening, because they set it up very, very clearly and very well. Here are some horrible cops. Here's a father and a family who just want to that needs protection, and he's going to do everything he can to protect them. And it's very clear, like that's the playing field. Yeah. And so whatever happens is just like, okay, here we go. Who's going to get over who, whatever and whatnot. And and for the most part, I thought it was actually pretty smart. I think it again, Vijay's plan of, okay, we got to go to Punjabi. Sorry, I'm forgetting the name. But the place, and then like making sure every single person we come through knows where we were exactly. And so all that was just so fast. It is Panaji. It was just really fascinating to see him work. The one thing I will say that I thought they could have went further. Again, a lot of my cons of the movie is like, I just wanted more of that. Is the fact that it's so intriguing to me that a normal guy that looks like him, I don't believe this guy just owns a TV business because he's so freaking handsome and huge. But he's just a normal father, right? Okay, sure.
Just the normal, good-looking guy. Yeah, I think we're normal guys. Unfortunately, well,
it's just this like big hulking man just runs a TV station. Anyways, so I love that aspect of like, oh, he's a guy who just watches a bunch of movies and he learns stuff and he thinks that this translates to real life. And it would have been cool if that was, I think, more throughout the movie. That kind of stops roughly around the hour mark. I wanted that to keep going. I wanted to see, okay, what movie does he pull to get out of this mess?
Dude,
what movie does he pull to get out of this mess?
Yes.
That's what I wanted more of, because I think that's a very interesting character. Eventually, he becomes the father. It's easy. It's like he's a father and he will do anything to protect him. You understand that. You get it. I get it too. But to make this character even more interesting and like really, really stand out, I think they could have really just made that such a more through line thing for his characteristics. That I would have been like, wow, that's a standout character I've never really seen before. So I just wish they had done that throughout the movie. Like, it's his superpower, right? Like, that's what he does. It's just I wish that was more, in there. But again, just overall, I think that whole thriller part, them explaining it, the cops trying to figure out like, is it true, is it not? I was on the edge of my seat that whole time. That was really fun. I had a good time at that part.
I'm so glad you used those exact words, because there were so many moments. My favorite part about this movie was how many times I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah,
like it really did build up the suspense in really great ways. When they're digging up the body, like I was like, how do you get out of this?
Yeah, that's a wild ending.
Yeah, when they're beating up the fucking family, everybody's beating up the family. And the poor little girl's just like, when is this girl going to break? Is she going to break? Is she going to screw this all up? It's going to be the little girl's fault. Shit. I was
the ending's
just like,
phenomenal.
Yes, the ending is so good.
Fantastic.
It's just like 30 minutes of just non-stop suspense.
Yes.
30 minutes of just boom, 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 boom. And I have like a soft spot in my heart for that, kind of, what's the word? Stereotypical use of, oh, we're going to show you something and then it's going to be this reveal and then we're going to go back and show you what he actually did.
Right.
For some reason, I don't know why I have that, like, the pull the rug out of you. I just have a blind spot in my heart for that kind of stuff. I love
like it too. I think more screenplays could benefit from that movie technique.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think that's such a really fun and
it's
simple technique, and so yeah, to me the best parts of the film were just the suspenseful moments. When the daughter and the mother trap Sam and he's threatening to upload the video, I was just like, holy, what the fuck's gonna happen? I mean, I was told this movie gets kind of crazy. What what's going to happen, or is the mother going to kill him? I thought for a split second the mother actually had, did the sexual thing, and I was like, oh no, she's going to be ruined. She's going to fuck. This is fucked. This is so fucked. But
something worse happens, which is what's awesome about it.
Yeah. So
essentially, something worse happens, even though you think that like doing that is pretty bad already.
Yeah.
But no, oh shit, they fucking killed him.
Now he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. That's even a bigger problem.
So yeah, I thought that was like really, really well done. And when the little girl, as I can't remember her name, Anju, I think was her name in the movie. Anju.
Maybe? The adopted daughter or the younger daughter?
The adopted daughter, Anju.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you're right. Anju, correct.
Anju, yes. So yeah, I thought, her hitting him, I thought she got her, like, I probably shouldn't say it like this, but her
I hear you.
Hell yeah moment, she killed the guy. I also thought in my head, it was in the back of my head the entire time. I want to know if anyone else thought about this or if you did. I was just rooting for the family so hard, and they did just murder a guy. Yes, the kid's an asshole. Did he deserve to get murdered, first of all? Second, I was just rooting so hard for the family to get away with it. Like, I was like, I hope your son is burned. I don't know. But like,
Oh, wow, you went all the way.
I was like, I had no remorse for Sam or her family. Or his family, sorry. Did anybody have any sort of remorse? Because like, it's like they say it later in the movie when Vijay finally does meet with them, and in a very, very here's again like what you said of like a really good screenplay. He doesn't actually indict himself. He tells them what happened without actually saying, I did this to him, or my daughter did this to him. He basically tells a story, which is a great way to connect it. I was going to say,
it's like a story,
yeah, which is a brilliant way to connect it.
I love that scene.
That's the best scene, one of the best scenes of the movie.
I agree with you. I think, again, on a purely filmmaking level and like a screenplay level, I thought that was easily one of the best scenes. A scene that for a movie like this, I didn't expect them to do, to be honest with you. Like I call it cheap because it kind of is. Like, melodrama is cheaper filmmaking. That doesn't mean it's bad filmmaking. But like, when you see it, you're like, okay, come on. Like with the music, the fucking Avengers music when someone comes in. It's just like,
when she's walking, when the slow-mo walk to the laptop is when I did start laughing. I was like,
there's a lot of those moments. But again, it's not bad. It's just that's the type of thing you're expecting. And so that scene is not something I expected, and it was so well done.
Yes.
I was just like, wow, that's a powerful scene to end such to a movie that I wasn't expecting it from. And so that's the kind of little moments I'm like, okay, so these are real filmmakers here who just, there's a style, there's a demo that they wanted to hit with it, and that's just what it is. And so that was a great, fantastic scene, and I'm glad that in that scene, everyone was just a parent at that scene, and just a human, just like, okay, we get it. Like, fuck it. Like, fuck all this shit that we just did. Like, my son's a horrible, evil human being.
Yes.
And
you clearly coddled him too much. But
obviously,
but to piggyback off that, like you're saying, I think another thing that I really loved about this film was just the performances. Pretty much everyone is great in this movie. Who do you not like?
Can I say just one caveat to that? Look,
go ahead. You better not say Tabu.
I didn't love. No. She's great. I didn't like Anju. The daughter was not my favorite.
Why did you think she's too much of a baby back bitch or something? Or
no.
I don't know why I said it like that. I'm so sorry.
No one's worse than Piku. No.
No, come on.
Sarcasm. Although Anju, no, it's just a performance. The character itself is fine. Anju, she's fine. She's a young girl, young woman, and I wasn't believing her.
You have a lot of problems with women, you know that.
What can I say? They cast the men great. They cast the women too. But look, I'm just saying, like, she was a young actress at the time. Maybe I think she's actually she wasn't actually. She's 32 now. She's like our age. This is only 7 years before that. So how old was she? 25.
25.
Whatever. Okay. I don't know. I just some moments where she's like crying and just like being in distress. I just didn't buy it. And again, it wasn't. It's fine. It's fine. If we want to talk performances, though, I thought hers was just kind of the weaker one. But everyone else I thought was very, very strong. I personally really I loved Sub Inspector. He was probably one of my favorite characters, just because.
Yes,
he's so good. He's just so good.
I would agree. To play a character that you have to dislike, it's hard to do. But he's very good at being an asshole and being like kind of, it's easy, I guess, just to be an asshole, but he's like an asshole that's good at his job,
Exactly. As I said, he's actually a smart guy. See, there are things in characters where it's like, you're meant to not maybe like them, but there's certain aspects that you can come to respect and understand, like even if they're just intelligent, right?
Right.
Or
absolutely.
You can have those things.
Right.
So anyways.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A great example of a character you're supposed to hate, but you kind of like too.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would feel that. But yeah, Vijay is just so phenomenal. This actor. AJ.
AJ, I assume. Evan.
I mean, you guys maybe put down in the comments below what movies should we watch from AJ. Are all men in India just good looking? Is that like a thing? I said a couple weeks ago with Hendrik, I wonder what it's like to wake up and be so handsome.
Fit and
fit. Yeah, I gotta lose weight. I got a wedding coming up. I gotta lose weight, and I'm like, I can't
you
even.
Go on this Indian diet. This fucking, oh my god.
What the hell, man?
First of all, come on. Like, first of all, they clearly have a prerequisite casting for their men in their movies. They know these are the people that people love watching, and so I assume pretty much all men in India are as good looking. But this is also fantasy too. They just get the best people. Just like
there wasn't a lot of good looking men in Gangs of Wasseypur. So I guess I'm a little wrong.
It's called makeup too. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm just saying it could just be they're supposed to look like that. I don't know.
Hey, maybe.
Anyways, he's obviously he's a very swashbuckling, handsome man. Again, I don't buy as being a TV bit, like running just a shoe in the wall or a shoebox in the wall TV shot or whatever.
He was in RRR.
AJ Devgn? That's who?
I don't know.
He was in it though, huh?
It says he's in it.
I mean, it's a stacked cast. I wouldn't be surprised. But he wasn't like one of the main people, right?
We need to re-review RRR now.
He made a cameo. It says here,
with a different lens.
We need to re-review. Wait a minute. Why does it say Raju? Oh, does he play the dad?
Is he the dad that teaches him how to shoot?
He plays the dad.
Oh!
I saw the last name. It's Raju. I was like, wait, no, that's the main character's last name. I looked it up. That's his dad. What? Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. He's in that movie quite a bit because that extended background was pretty long.
Yeah, that's another like 45 minutes of the movie. Pretty long. Are you kidding me?
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Basically the fourth act of the movie.
Now that makes a lot of sense.
We got to re-review that movie.
I think we do. But anyways,
yeah, absolutely. Okay,
so
else? back to Drishyam. So we've talked about what we didn't like. We've talked about what we really liked. We've talked about performances. I thought the editing was fine in this. I thought it was, pretty good.
Editing was fine.
yeah. I mean, like nothing. I know what I'm saying. What I mean by that, like, let's put them together. I thought the editing and cinematography were fine. There was literally nothing spectacular about anything. There was like some, there's some good cuts where, he's walking through, it's raining at one point and the camera's panning over and now it's day. And like, that's really it's fun cut.
I was going to say, if speaking of great shots, there is an exceptional editing and shot and just general great shot at the end where you figure out where the body is hidden.
Yes, let's talk about the ending.
Superimposing and cutting between both. Yeah. That was an exceptional shot. I was like, that's cool. And I like that. That's really nice.
That goes back to this film, this screenplay. I guess this original story being so well thought out and
I agree.
enough to be. That's why I say I can draw comparisons to Parasite.
I hear, because
like even in Parasite, although I do care about Vijay and his family in this movie, in Parasite, when everything goes bad, I don't care about the rich family. I don't care about the poor family.
No,
I'm kind of happy
there's no one you're like rooting
characters.
for necessarily. Right. It's all about like what the fuck's gonna happen, you know?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
I still would. I personally would not put it anywhere near Parasite necessarily, but again, it's the feeling. It's the feeling that you get.
I'm not putting it near Parasite. I'm saying that it's. I'm saying this could be India's Parasite. You know,
like India's Parasite as of right now.
Because like you put into consideration the movies there and how they're made, and like this melodramatic genre is part of their thrillers.
Sure.
I would put it in there because there are moments of insanely good suspense in this that are just like, I was like, oh no, when they're digging up the body, the whole ending bit.
Here's what I'll say. I did
really magical moments. Yeah.
I agree that I was on the edge of my seat because it was so well done, but I wouldn't say I was surprised. Do you know what I mean? I kind of saw all those beats coming. The thing about Parasite is that was so original. Surprised. You really weren't sure what the fuck was going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's the only difference I would say. Like, I kind of knew what was going to happen. Like, overall, I was like, I know what's there. I know what. You're right. I was like, I think it's like a dog or something. Must be.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, I knew the body wasn't going to be there. Yeah, we knew. But I was like, what was going to be there? I was like, what did he do?
I was thinking, it must be like, I don't know, something has to stink. I don't know, a dog.
Yeah.
I was like, they found on the side of the road or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like one of my other favorite sequences that was super simple that you see in every movie, every thriller, was the sinking of the yellow car. Just the simplicity of like, one person might be seeing it, and you just like, fucking sink, you motherfucker, just fucking sink. And like, that was a great, simple, thrilling scene that was just so, just simple. I liked it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. This movie does well.
I think there's a lot of simple. That's a great way to sum it up. There's a lot of simple but incredibly effective filmmaking.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing like, oh, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never that's never been done before. No, of course it's.
But I completely agree. Simple done but effective. Like again, effective. Like what I guess, like a school teacher tells you, or when we're yelling about Marvel films at the top of our lungs, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. That's all you have to do.
And it's
so anything else you'd like to talk about? I mean, we've talked about filming, editing, moments of it.
I thought a lot of my problems, I really didn't attach to the film really full on until like halfway. There's a lot of problems in the first half for me that was like, okay, like the screenplay, I know that the premise is good. I just hope they paid off. But a lot of the first half, I was like, oh, hey, there's some pacing issues. Like there's some vibe issues. I just wasn't like, tonally, I was like, okay, this is everywhere. It was not until they went full on with the thriller aspect where I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yes.
Yeah.
They're going for it. That's where the movie's at. So that's really all it is. And then again, just the villainy, I thought it could have just really made that one. I will say this again. I feel like there could be a meme for the sub inspector when he's just like slapping the whole family. Just like, one by one. So fucking, it's just something funny. It's awesome because I like that character. It's just so funny. He's just like slapping people. It's just funny to me that he will punch BJ in the stomach and then resort to a slap in the face. I'm not a fighter. It's just kind of weird. It's just funny.
Yeah, maybe that's like an India thing. Maybe
Yeah, maybe it's almost like a demeaning thing. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna slap you.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to knock him out.
Well, he was willing to stomp on a kid.
Well, that's true. He was willing to stomp on a kid.
The other thing I want to talk about, just so we can poke fun at it. Did you feel like those parents maybe just cried a little bit too, not enough for their kid? They showed almost no care, I think.
Sam, you mean?
Well, knowing where the fuck is Sam? Is he dead or alive? Like, they showed no remorse until basically they're like almost saw the body. And I was like, are you... You don't your kids at. They almost
you're not wrong.
BJ being the culprit, and then caring about their son. I was like, you guys needed a scene where they were like looking at a picture or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. Yeah, they like again. I think that goes back to I said earlier. I don't know if anybody in the audience watched this movie and gave a fuck about Sam, because he did such an atrocious thing. You're just like, I don't care.
I want to care about the parents is what I was like.
I know, yeah, but
at least attach them a little bit. Yeah,
the parents did not. I mean, she cried like once, I think, but the dad never fucking cried.
No, not once. He didn't. I don't know. Again, I'm not a parent yet, but still, I just feel like if I knew that my son was missing or dead, I would have one moment where I'd be like, oh, I think my world's about to end, I think.
Yeah, I feel like there would be a sinking feeling in your stomach that you would be unable to, like,
They treated it almost like they were missing $10 million in a briefcase versus a human being. I don't know. There was a little bit of that emotionality I was kind of missing from them, but whatever.
I mean, like, if you take their parents and you compare it to like the parents in Prisoners, Hugh Jackman, and I forget the other girl, the woman who plays the mom. Like, the mom goes into straight fucking drug abuse, and the dad, like, he's just drinking and he's over here kidnapping people, trying to figure out who took his daughter.
I'll say this, maybe this was what it was. He was always a shit, and they just actually kind of didn't like him either. But it's their son,
so they had to at least
figure it out.
Yeah,
but maybe he was a horrible shit, and so like.
I mean, I bet he was.
Maybe they couldn't cry for him.
Seemed like he was.
Fuck, man. Who knows if this was... Well, look, I'll say this. When she found out it was about the video, again, it seemed like he had done that before.
Yeah, he's like... It was like
hey,
not
I found
a very
out about
big moment. Yeah.
Well, it's not the first time.
You're right about that.
Maybe 100%. It's that. Maybe we were supposed to infer that. So I don't know. I just thought there would be one more scene.
One more scene.
Yeah, one more scene. And then... Yeah, again, honestly, it's like I had a good time. I'm ready for Drishyam 2. Let's talk about that really quick. So I watched, I read a synopsis because I was just curious, like, okay, hold on.
Oh, did you?
Just at least a synopsis. Yeah. The thing I wanted answered was, are they going to bring back, is it going to be about the same case, or is it going to be another thing, like a whole different thing? One of my pet peeves about movies that get popular and then they do it again is they bring back the same case, and more times than not it's never as good, because it's like people want a bookend. They just want that movie, and then look, you want the characters back, fucking great, bring all the characters back, but make it like a completely different story. As far as I'm concerned, based off like the synopsis, it seems like it still has to do with this, and they're gonna like bring it to light new stuff. And that makes me go, okay, well, hey, better be as good as the first one, because that's going to be hard to top. So I don't know if you read the synopsis, but like, what are you expecting out of Drishyam 2? Knowing that there is now a sequel to this movie that we like, What
am I expecting?
What do you want? What do you hope they don't do? Stuff like that.
Well, I guess I hope they don't do the exact same thing. But
you have an that they just might.
Sequels are hard.
Sequels are hard.
I will say, if they connect it to the original in a clever, different way, say like, I don't know, maybe like, is that clever? I was going to say maybe like a blackmail scheme of Vijay and his family.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like I think that could be fun.
No, I think that's good. Like, even something that is connected, but like still launches the story in a different direction.
Right. Like,
rather than like, oh my God, it's just like kind of a continuation.
We're going to review this. Yeah, like,
they found the body.
I don't want to say Tabu, like they dug up the fucking police station and there's the body. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that either.
If it happens to be like some sort of like blackmail thing where somebody somewhere says, I know what you did,
right,
I could be in for that. I could say, okay.
Exactly. I think that's pretty good, right? Like another crime happens somewhere else, and like Tabu, Inspector General, goes, well, knowing Vijay, he could definitely be another suspect again.
Oh, dude,
you know what I mean?
That'd be great if they used Tabu. She won't be. I'm sure she's not. But if they use Tabu as the main character for Drishyam 2, the exact same crime happens somewhere else.
Being the main character. I mean, she's like, if you see the poster though, like,
oh yeah,
clearly Vijay is definitely the main character.
It's his face on the poster. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe not that, but that is actually a really good. I like that, dude. Like that's a good screenplay choice to be. Let's follow Tabu this time, because you get at the end of there, you kind of understand everything on everyone's point of view from that point, and you kind of like get on her side a little bit, you know.
Yeah, you're with it now.
You're kind of with it. It'd be nice if they like, you know, they caught up with her and like she actually cleans up the nastiness of the cops, and then the cops actually become really good, and then they're like we need to stop things from this like this from happening, including people like Vijay, who is just a fucking orphan who fucking made us look like, you know, rag dolls.
Yeah,
like, that's a cool kind of revenge story. And her, oh man, anyways, who knows what it's gonna be?
Yeah, so if it's that, it could be very cool. If it's not,
it could still be good.
It could still be good, but just
in
not
the same way this was
good.
You know?
Yeah, so
we'll see.
It'll be interesting.
Should we watch Drishyam 2? We'll watch Drishyam 2. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's the movie we should do next.
Okay, let's do it.
Funny enough, you know what's funny? I just looked this up. Drishyam 2, the original version of it is on Amazon Prime, and the Hindi version of it is also on Amazon Prime. So we have to be careful. We have to make sure we watch the right one. Which obviously we'll see the poster of the face, and we'll make sure we make the right decision.
It's not. AJ.
But it's just weird to me that Drishyam is on Amazon Prime, Drishyam 2 of the original version, but the Drishyam of the original Drishyam, Jesus, this is that barely is going to be on Hulu. So interesting,
right? Licensing, I don't know, weird.
Yeah,
like, you'll have sequels, and then the first one's not on there. Like what?
Yeah,
weird.
Like the first one isn't. Yeah, I don't know.
That happens even on Netflix. Really weird.
But look, coming to Hulu Friday. Interesting.
Yeah.
Favorite Indian movie. Well, that'll be that's oh boy, that'll be interesting.
To say the least. Yeah.
So, I think this is a good place to end it, right?
I think so. I think we're good. We said everything we needed to.
I think so. Yeah, the fun movie, some problems, but for me, not perfect
by any means.
Switch the camera. But yes, just looking at me. The people don't want to look at me. They want to look at you.
Well, they hate me more now, so that's okay.
Now, they may like you after
I'm
this
helping
review
them
again.
out. I'm helping them out.
But yes, fun movie. The screenplay was phenomenal. Just
I hate to say this, but at the same time, it's like let's do another remake where it's just full on thriller, and let's see where that goes. You know, like fucking bro. What if
let's do the American remake?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we should do an American. People in the comments would be fucking hating that right now. But what if what's his face does this? Fucking a director like what's his face? Mindhunter, and why am I forgetting his name right now? Oh my god, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Social Network.
The most overrated director working today, David Fincher.
Oh, you think he's overrated? Oh,
he's a one-trick pony. Everything's the same.
But every freaking movie he does is fucking awesome.
I guess that's true. I mean, I guess also, all directors.
Social Network was a good. Social Network was phenomenal, and that was not a straight, horror thriller that he's done. He did a great job. That's one of the best movies of that decade. 100%.
You're right.
Anyways, like someone like him. Let's just even a Denis Villeneuve, which I'm so tired of him doing sci-fi right now. I kind of just want him to go back to like fucking Prisoners and shit and Enemy. Fuck man, like please do a Drishyam. That'd be great. Get back to it.
I mean, wait, is Prisoners a soft remake of? Hold on. Let's.
You're thinking Prisoners is a soft remake of Drishyam?
No,
no. Prisoners was done before. When was the original?
Original Drishyam was 2013.
There you go. So no, there was no way it was like. No. I don't know. That's too close. It's too close. But yeah, dude.
But yeah, I mean,
doing something like this.
Hell yeah.
I've been down.
But I mean, God, dude, it's just like, oh look, Korea's gonna make one.
That makes sense.
Korea's gonna make a Drishyam. I bet you that'll be pretty good.
By Bong Joon-ho, is it?
I don't know, man.
It's definitely a great. Obviously, it's like, look, it's a phenomenal script. I can see why it's being remade up the wazoo because it's just a really, really fun script, and it's like go for it.
There are so many versions of this movie. It's kind of crazy.
At one point, though, maybe just watch this. It's also just it's a good movie.
Yes,
but
yes, maybe. But Yeah. Well, we're gonna keep going, so let's stop it here. So,
stop there.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Next week, we're gonna just watch Drishyam 2. No poll for everybody to argue in the comments. We're just gonna watch Drishyam 2, the Hindi version. And then, if there's a lot of positive feedback on the Drishyam versus original Drishyam, D versus D, we'll watch that one. Because why the hell not?
I'm down.
We got 3 hours of empty time someday.
To be farther from the truth, but yeah.
Yes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for not unsubscribing. And hey, maybe some people will newly subscribe if you want. That'd be great.
And if anybody knew anybody who did unsubscribe and you like talking to them, tell them to come back. Like, come on, let's just have some fun. That
was so much more peaceful than what I thought you were gonna say. So that's good.
I didn't read every single comment because I could go off the rails, and I don't want that here. It's fucking movies, people. It's movies. Let's not get fucking personal about this. Jesus Christ, there's other problems in the world. Let's have a good time talking about movies. You know what I'm talking about? Let's have a good time. Man. Come back for a good time. Let's
come back for a good time. You got Mexican, Filipino talking movies. Let's do it. Anyway, again, this is a very long goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.